Hi. Oh, first of all, I just realized my sweater looks really big on this camera. That's so great. So welcome to another I Can't Even meal. I keep saying this when people come over, but I'm so excited. I'm legit excited because there's a couple of things. One, this is Cassandra. We have known each other for probably 12 years. Yeah. At least 12 years, if not. And I knew her before she was born. Yep. So this is Erilyn. This is her sweet daughter. And we're going to be making something that I am completely unfamiliar with, which is why I got super excited that you agreed to help. Branzino. Yes. Okay, first of all, I didn't know what a Branzino was. So when she said it, I was like, that sounds great. I thought maybe it was pork or something. And it's a fish. It's a Mediterranean sea bass. Yes. Right? Okay, so what's really interesting is she has already schooled me in so many ways regarding this beautiful fish right here. So if you're on the 5-in-1, if you're doing Whole30, especially coming up for January, if you're paleo, if you're doing keto, any of those things where high protein and good vegetables are part of what you're doing, this is going to be super helpful, right? Absolutely. You guys have recently become, or not recently, we've been pescatarians for over 7 years now. So she legit knows what to do with the fish. All I know is already steak things, right? Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna do Branzino, and we're gonna do something I can't even. How do you pronounce the salad?
So it's a Sampoorna salad, but what's really great about it is we also have a lot of protein-packed things in here for you too. Yes. With the hemp seeds and the flaxseed and everything. So we try to make sure that it's bright, but we add an additional bit of protein to help support your protein. Needs. Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Okay, so you have the protein, the vegetables, and you have extra protein and fiber over here with what we're going to do. Yes. So again, this is a special, special treat. Look out. So I'm literally going to be following whatever she tells me to do because never done this before. So we have this beautiful fish. Oh, sorry. Also, she and her husband just wrote a book, and I read the first, 8 pages. Yeah. I died. You guys, it's called Find Your Hedgehog and Stop Working. Yeah. Oh, Erilyn, yes. What is it called?
Find Your Hedgehog and
Stop Working. Yes. These two, she and her husband Socrates, have been my inspiration animals, my spirit animals, for a really long time. I've watched them risk and risk and risk and work really hard and risk again. Yep. And you, Socrates was one of the first people who actually, that I met that just moved toward things that were unknown with Bandon. And with organization, but with the desire to help people. Yeah. It was a really cool thing. So I'm excited. We're going to talk a little bit about that as we work. But yes. What do we got?
So we have the Branzino, and as Kristen mentioned earlier, a lot of people are sort of intimidated by fish. But some of the best things that you can do is get to know who your butchers and your fisheries are, and talk to them there because they are amazing. They will give you advice. So actually, I went to Whole Foods, and Mauricio, shout out to Mauricio, Whole Foods in Winter Park.
Whole Foods. First of all, also Whole Foods. She didn't go to some special sneaky place, right? No. Whole Foods. There's one on every corner.
Yes, absolutely. And I asked him. I said, "Hey, listen, I'm going to cook a great meal for my friend. Can you please clean the fish for me, and please make sure you remove all the scales." So he basically took off all the fins. He scaled it completely.
While you do that, I'm just gonna hold it up.
Yes.
I don't care how gross this is, y'all.
And it's amazing.
It's gonna get a little.
And it's gorgeous.
He took the fins off, and then go ahead. He took this. He had
took the scale off. So what you want to do is run your finger at the opposite direction of the scales to see if you ever get fish if there's still scale on it. You really want to take it off because it's no fun eating fish with scales on it. Yeah. But he also opened it up and gutted it out for me and cleaned it out, which is amazing. And then all you have to do is just maybe take a knife and take out little bits if you find some in there. But don't be intimidated by fish. Talk to your, the people in the seafood section, and they will help you. And if you see a fish you've never seen before, ask them what it's like. And if there's anything that's familiar to you, ask them how to cook it and just try.
So really quickly too, this is the reason this is I Can't Even meals is because you literally did all of the things that she just said in a matter of maybe 3 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes. Not super hard. Doesn't take as long as you think it would. Hold on. Who is it? Kim. My sister Kim said hi.
Hi. How are you doing, Kim? How are the girls?
Yes. You also mentioned the lemon.
Yes. So, there's no official thing to this. This is just like a family thing. In the Caribbean, a lot of times, if you're eating something like fish or gamey meat, for example, like goat or wild turkey or chicken or something like that, it has a heavy taste to it. So I've always grown up with either the meat being marinated or sort of cleaned with either vinegar or lemon. Or lime. It will work just fine. And what's great about fish is it kind of gives it like a little lemony undertone. It takes away some of that fishiness if you don't like the fishiness to certain fishes or seafood. Lemon and vinegar work really, really well.
And so what I watched her do was basically just take the lemon and like rub it in, like she was massaging it like it was her job. It was really great. I mean, I was jealous.
Rubbing it
I was
down.
super jealous of the fish, I gotta be honest with you. But then that was all it took to kind of ready the fish to be put in the oven. And so your strategy is normally prepare the fish, put it in the oven, do the salad at the same time.
Yep, because like I said, I'm a busy mom. I don't have time. So a lot of times I just do things so that it can all work together. So while this is cooking, I'm preparing the rest and we're good to go.
Okay, so the fish have been cleaned right by the fishmonger person. Has been re-cleaned by you, any leftover pieces.
Yep.
We've done the lemon. What is next for the fish?
Okay, so typically speaking with a dish like this, any meats, if you want good flavor, you want to season it the night before. I don't have time for that. So another strategy that you can do is
that's why I love her. She doesn't have time for that.
So a strategy for that is you can take a knife, a sharp knife, and put slits in your meat. So for the fish, what I did is I did some diagonal cuts in the actual fish itself, and that's where we're going to put the herb paste that we're going to create. And you do that on both sides. So if it was a piece of chicken, you just slice some slits into it, and then that way if you put the salt and the spices, it's going to really dig deep in there and give it more flavor than what you would do. Fish cooks pretty well, it absorbs flavor pretty well, but if you have chicken, you can also steam it a little bit before you bake it, and that'll help the spices get in there. So that's just a tip.
Love it. Also, preheated the oven to 400, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. All right, so let's get this going.
All right, so we're going to do the paste. Easiest thing to do, typically speaking, some people like to use this. I'm going old school. So to crack garlic and get the sort of the skin off, so you don't have to sit there like peeling little by little, and it slides off just wonderfully. What I did is I just basically took the garlic, I whacked it really good, and then look. Now you gotta, it's not, you don't have to chop it or anything. I just dump it into this beautiful magic pot. And I call it, in our language we call it a pilon. In English it's just called a mortar. But that's all
sexy.
I know.
Yeah, right.
It's
That's not sexy at all. No, a pilon.
Yes.
It has like some kind of at the end of it, right? Pilon. Kim said yes.
Oh, pilon.
I don't know what that means, Kim. Wait. She's a garlic boss. So she's a garlic boss.
Yeah, so that's the traditional thing, but like I said, you just give it a couple of whacks. What you do is you loosen the skin off and it just slides off. And now you've got yourself a beautiful piece of fresh garlic that's gonna smell divine.
Love it. So as you're going through that, what caused you guys to want to write this book that you just wrote?
So Find Your Hedgehog and Stop Working has been something that's been in the works for Socrates for many, many years. And
Socrates, her husband.
My husband, my sweetheart.
Her boo.
And he's been actually my mentor. That's how we met. And one of the things that Socrates is really great at is developing people, finding their talent, and putting them on the right seat on the bus. And that's like his claim to fame. And so when
I'm gonna watch you. So as you keep talking, so you're taking just a
fresh cilantro,
a head of cilantro.
And for those of you who don't like cilantro, my parents hate cilantro. You can do this with parsley. It works just
Shout out
fine.
to Donna and Jackie who hate cilantro and don't get it.
There you go.
But you don't have to use it, Donna and Jackie.
You don't have to. And it just so happens to be in my salad. I'm using cilantro. So you always want to use like herbs so that it's like everything marries itself.
Also, I love that she's using things that are super fragrant because we often we think that part of the I Can't Even meals isn't just figuring out how to do tater tots better, right? Like, or tater tots in general. It's learning like to use all the senses, the colors, the smells. So herbs are a wonderful way to kind of open up.
Absolutely.
Right? And flavor something that might be boring. Like every time I hear salad, super exciting.
And if you're also on a diet where you can't maybe use a lot of salt or spices or whatever,
like the 5-in-1.
This is a perfect way to kind of compensate for that is by using fresh herbs, and it's
open
like you don't need it. You really don't, and it's amazing. In this case, we are going to use some sea salt, and what we do is the sea salt helps to break down the herbs, and when we're grinding it just grinds against the herbs and it releases the natural oils, and that we're not even using oil in this fish. We're just using the oils from the cilantro and the garlic, and it's going to create a paste all by itself.
Blows my mind. So this is the other thing that was so interesting, and we're going to get back to the book in just 1 second, but she said, so herbs, I don't know why I didn't think about this, they have their own oils. So as you break down fresh herbs, that's why using fresh herbs is really helpful, because they as they emit their own oils, you don't have to compensate with necessarily with additional fat unless that's part of your program. But it will do what it needs to, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So this is a great kid tip. My mom used to try to keep me busy in the kitchen and keep me involved, because if you're involved in the meal, then you probably want to eat it. So to keep your kid busy.
Y'all on the 5-in-1 asking me about the kids all the time. This is, listen up.
Go to town, just mash it up. So all you gotta do is just mash, bang, 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 bang.
So you can see that Airline's done this before.
So the funny thing is, it's like, you know, when your kids are making a lot of noise, or they're doing something like that, you're gonna break something. This is where they can actually go to town and like release some of that energy that they have. So give it to the kid and you work on something else. So she's gonna basically mash that around, and she's gonna just take the mash it all against the sides until we break it down into a fine paste. And then I'll go in after her if I need to. So while she's doing that, what we're going to do is we're going to season the fish. This is a seasoning that you can find at Whole Foods. I'm sure you can probably find it in other places. It's called basari. Amazing. If you are like not good at seasoning, you just need to get you a couple of different basaris. They have orange ginger, which is the one that we're using. They have a lemon one. They have another orange zest one.
So what I thought interesting is I opened it up. I've never seen this before.
My God.
I was so excited. I was so
good.
Well, it will, without a lot of it, right? Like it burst. Like I started salivating. I started like just that. Whatever's in here is just enough to like, you don't have to use a lot, right? To get it going.
You really don't. And if you're not, like I said, if you're not good, literally you just have a couple of these different seasonings, and any dish that you make, everybody's gonna be like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? So what we're gonna do is we're going to take this on the outside, and you're just basically just gonna pepper the outside, the inside.
I'm gonna practice, and then if you'll,
and then you'll do the inside.
Okay. Will you talk about your like? Okay, so what?
And then do the other side.
That's it. Okay. So what caused you guys to want to write the book? You said it's been on his mind for a long time.
So yeah, Socrates actually been writing the book for a really long time, and you know, since we started the business, and which is All County, which is a property management company, we opened several locations, and over time we've really gained some traction and had some success with our team, which we have an amazing team. And everyone asks us, how are you able to build so many locations? How are they able to operate independently without you physically being there? What's the secret? And it really does have to do with the fact that we help our people find their hedgehog. When they're in their wheelhouse, it doesn't take much direction. It's more like letting them go to be who they are and just live their true selves. And once you find that talent, there's no holding somebody back. It's not hard to motivate them. They're all self-motivated.
So it's interesting. I work with a lot of people where we're talking about health in terms of nutrition, but we also talk about mental health and wellness, and also like what's causing you stress. A lot of times what's causing them stress is being in a job that's not their purpose, right? And sometimes I have found this last year that reading books like Find Your Hedgehog,
Yes, and Stop Working.
And Stop Working. Those voices who've gone before helped me to consider what it is what am I called to? How can I risk? It's caused me. It's given me. I was reading also another book today, so they marry well together. So voices like that are really important as you're thinking through not just your physical health but your mental health too. To find books like this to help you start thinking outside of what you've known. The safety of what you know, right?
And I think the best way to frame it is like, if you can think of, you know, when you get up in the morning, that feeling of like, oh, I have to get up and go into this place and just kind of like get through it. That's where we met a lot of people. A lot of people that work for us now, that's what they were doing. And it's almost like so many people were working in companies that they were untapped resources, and now all of a sudden they've come alive, and these same people, you're like, where? What happened? You know what I mean?
So it's literally inside people.
It has to be activated. I mean, kind of like you, for example. I mean, if I've known Kristen for a long time.
He was the beginning of it, like he was. He's like,
I'm sure if you guys have been watching her, she comes to life. Once she does
Can I just
this.
say really quickly, I don't know if there's anything else that she needs to do, right? Is that good?
Yeah. You
Okay.
did a great job.
So Socrates was the first person to, he asked me back in 2005. He was my manager at the time, favorite manager kind of all time. Amazing, absolutely incredible. But he asked me if I could do anything, what would I want to do? And as far as within the organization that we're in, I was like, I would love to be a cheerleader for people. Does that job exist? And he looked at me, he's like, well, I mean, maybe it doesn't exist here, or maybe we can find a way for it to exist here. So he thought in terms of possibilities, and ever since then, that's kind of been the trajectory. It's how do I cheer for people? How do I encourage people? How do I do something in my life where that's what I'm doing? So I read the first I've read the first 8 pages already of the book, and I'm like super stoked about it. All right, so what have we got?
All right, so Erlen did a great job.
Show 'em.
She mashed it up. You can see, oh, it's so good, and it smells amazing. I wish you guys could have like a smell-o-vision. Amazing, right?
It's so fragrant. Okay, so
It's so good.
you can tell like it's a paste now. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So now what we're gonna do with our paste is we're gonna take a little bit of the spoon, and so here's the thing with garlic, it does stink up your hands, so you gotta make sure as soon as you finish doing this, you wash your hands immediately. And a nice little trick is you can cut up a lemon and kind of wash it, get underneath your fingers, and rinse it out. But it will smell for a while. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some of this paste, and you remember the slits that we made in the fish? So we can create that flavor. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the tip of the spoon and we're gonna just push the paste that we created into the slits. You don't need much, you just need a little bit. And we're just gonna push it in, and in each one of the slits, you're just gonna stuff that garlic paste right in there. Then what you wanna do is you wanna take another little bit and you wanna get it right down the center of the fish, and you wanna put it right in that head part, right? Because we say that the head has the most flavor. And every single culture, they usually cook with the head because that's where you're gonna get the most bang for your buck for the flavor. So that's why they usually cook with it.
When she told me she was gonna bring a fish with a head, I was both excited because recently Joseph Creech has been forcing new things on me, and one of them was octopus, which blew my mind. It was so good.
Oh, grilled
and the
octopus.
other one was oysters. I'd never had one, and I just was always thinking they look like swamp boogers. I'm not gonna try it.
No.
I tried both, and I'm like, oh wow, I have really limited myself. So I was both intimidated, and I thought, oh, people don't normally eat with the heads on. But it looks fantastic, and each one of these is probably about 6-7 ounces or some like around that much of meat. So if you were to get a Branzino, the majority of them, it looks like, if they're equitable in size, they're around the size of your lean portion, especially after they're cooked.
Yes, and what's great is if you wanted to, you could totally eat half and then have lunch, and it's even better the second day.
Okay, who says that about fish? No one says that about fish. How is that? So what do? You put it on like on a salad or something afterwards, or you just?
If you
Like
you
tuna?
can either have it as a salad or whatever your side was.
Cauliflower rice or whatever?
Yeah, you can do quinoa. You can do cauliflower rice. You can do. I mean, the possibilities are endless. Only thing that would be tough is like with vegetables. Obviously, that doesn't really reheat very well. So
Kim said, Brenda Rivera just told me about the book. I got it yesterday.
ooh,
It's getting around town. It's getting around town.
So you
Might as
know,
well catch on.
absolutely, and you know, people are like always like, well, you know, my passion is, I love to cook. Well, let me tell you something. It's obvious that I'm passionate about cooking, but what's really great about the hedgehog, for example, is it's basically like an intersection, right? You want to look at what you're passionate about, what you're really good at, but you also got to make money doing it. What drives your economic engine, right? So that's the most important part. And so many times we have people that have maybe a piece of the pie, meaning you're really, really super passionate about what you're doing, like I just mentioned, and you are really good at it, but you're not making any money. And what's that called? It's called a hobby. And we have to get sometimes real about that, and that's okay. It's okay to have a hobby. Cooking is my hobby, and I love doing it. And what we talk about in the book is that many times we meet people that are in different roles or different stages in their journey of finding their hedgehog. We have met people that are making great money. They're really, really good at what they do, but they're not passionate. And sometimes that's the job. That's the one I was just talking about, where you get up every day and you're like, I'm so not excited to do this. Or
Can I try?
yes, absolutely. And so basically we just stuffed the seasoning in there.
Yeah.
We just stuffed it right in there.
Okay. I see what you're
And
doing.
yeah, exactly. Just
Yeah.
make sure you stuff it in there, and make sure you just get it down the middle and rub it all around.
Got it.
And then also we've met some people that are super excited about what they do. They're making really great money, but they're not really good at it. And some of us, we have people in our families, and you're just like trying to be supportive and you're trying to be honest. Some of us moms were like that with our kids. And unfortunately that's a dream, because obviously at the end of the day, people are going to stop paying for that service, or you're going to get fired from that job eventually. So it doesn't last for very long. So what we're looking for is that sweet spot where you're kind of capturing all three. You're really good at it, you're passionate about it, and you're driving your economic engine, and you're making money. And that's what finding your hedgehog and stop working means. Doesn't mean go lie on the beach.
Right.
It's just that work stops being work, and it's fun. Like, we're having fun.
I know, we're totally having fun. I love this stuff. This is great.
Yes.
Okay, so then do we cover it with foil or just kind of
Nope. So now we put a pan here where we took some avocado oil. What you want to do is, whatever oil you use, you want to take a look at the index and make sure that it's an oil that can handle high heat. Grapeseed oil is great, avocado oil is great, but you don't want to cook necessarily with olive oil. Olive oil is mostly for like salads.
It breaks down
like a dressing.
Right. It
yeah.
breaks down. The heat. It can't. It breaks down too quickly.
Yeah.
So avocado can handle a little. The heat point, I think, was 540 degrees for this the smoke point.
And the reason why that's important is because we want crispy.
Yeah.
We're going for crispy
Yes.
skin.
So
So-
something interesting she told me was that because she's pescatarian, but she
Yes.
misses bacon, because if you have bacon, you miss it if you don't have it. Like,
Yes.
let's be honest about it, right?
Mhm.
The cool thing is, she said, with the fish is when you cook it.
Yes.
We're gonna the preparation. We'll work through it. 400 degrees for how long?
So we're going to do it for 10 minutes to make sure that the fish is cooked, and then we're going to finish it off for like about 5 minutes. It always depends on how thick your fish is, on how much you cook it. But for about 5 minutes until it gets crispy on the top. That's what we're looking for.
Which gives you like that flavor,
Yeah.
that feeling of bacon.
Oh, yes.
So if you're pescatarian and you're missing bacon, take a tip from this one.
Yep. So
Okay.
we'll turn it off at 10 minutes, the bake part, and then
Okay.
we'll put on broil.
Okay.
So one thing we're going to do first is we're going to drizzle a little bit of avocado oil so we can help with that crispiness.
Okay. So if you're on the 5-in-1, my suggestion is to use a sprayed avocado oil, just so that you have a little bit more control over portions, just because you're paying attention, right? If you're on keto, obviously, enjoy, right? If you're on
Probably
feel
like
we're-
a capful is what, a teaspoon?
Oh,
a
yeah,
tablespoon?
maybe a teaspoon.
Teaspoon,
Actually,
yeah.
yeah, I think that one. Okay, here it goes. We're gonna put it in the oven for how many minutes?
10 minutes.
10
Yep.
minutes. Okay. Thank you, Erin. All right. So the next, while this is working.
Yep, we're working on our dressing and our salad.
All right, I'm excited. Have you had the salad before?
She has, but I try to like sneak it in.
Right. So you are interesting because you eat fish,
I eat fish more than I do eat chicken, but I am not good.
but not fully pescatarian. That's okay. So have you always eaten fish? Like, I have a lot of families that probably are curious, like, how do you get your children to eat the fish?
So we have to be careful about the fish. For example, with Branzino, it does have bones.
Okay.
So unless you're gonna be that mama that sits there and picks through it, you want to pick fishes like tilapia,
Okay.
sway, which is another good one. A salmon is pretty good. Sometimes you'll find bones, but salmon for the most part is pretty good.
Uh-huh.
So those are the types of fishes, and you can always ask your seafood guy, hey, what's a good fish that doesn't have bones?
Okay.
Because you have minors that are eating it, and you can have an accident. So you have to be careful with that.
Got it. So you have to be careful of safety. What are we doing with this salad?
Okay, so for the salad, we're gonna need a bowl.
Okay.
And what we're gonna do, what's great about Sampoorna salad is everything is about small bites. So everything that you pick up on your fork is gonna be something that you don't have to necessarily use a knife for. So everything is gonna be small. We're gonna actually take the leaves and we're gonna separate them, and we're gonna roll them like cigars. And that's so that we can get nice size ribbons.
Oh, also, okay, so Cass Russell, she is amazing. She and her husband came over and filmed me on, was it Monday? It was Monday, right? And we're gonna have some edited videos, but she's saying hi as well.
Hi.
They are two people who epitomize what you're talking about regarding finding your hedgehog.
Oh.
Yeah, like they are living it out right now.
We
currently
would love
together.
to meet them.
I know. You guys totally, I've been connecting people all over town. You guys, seriously, you guys are going to meet. I'm going to connect you guys.
Because we
It's
just
exciting.
moved into town, by the way, so we're always looking to meet new people. We've been here.
I can imagine some projects
like
too.
June.
Where you guys working
6
together.
months?
6 months, 5 months.
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
only been here for a little while.
They are
so.
amazing.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna basically take the leaves off, right? And to speed this up, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a few of them and we're gonna roll them into cigars. That's the easiest way to do it. And we're gonna make sort of like ribbons, if you will.
I love that. It's so much easier to eat when you make it into a ribbon. I found
Exactly.
when you cut them into these big chunky squares, it's not just taste, right? Like you're not getting, things aren't incorporated. So you're getting one chunk of lettuce, one chunk of this other thing. But when you cut them in ribbons, it incorporates more, right? Like all things together.
Mm-hmm.
I love that, and it's prettier.
And it is. It's so much prettier, and it makes this salad like it's so much fun to eat.
Yeah, my friend Ansley would love this. Ansley, if you're watching, one of the things that Cassandra said was, she said, we need to eat with our eyes. So you guys are the same in that way.
Yeah,
That's
so what
she
we're
said.
about to eat has a lot of bright colors and a lot of great flavors. And so what you want to do is cut off the bottom too, because like
nobody
Kristen,
wants what feels like,
it's too chunky.
no one wants what feels like iceberg lettuce. Nobody.
So I'm doing little ribbons, and when I get to the top, it's usually like really long, so I'll try to cut it in half to make sure that it's just, like I said, bite sizes. You want to make this salad so easy to eat, and no fuss, no muss, pretty bright green, and then I'll just go down the middle, cut it in half, make it easy for the person that's going to eat it.
So great, and it's so pretty already.
And
you know what? I'll do that when you go, if you want to start on the next one too.
okay, awesome. So we're gonna do that, and then for these, we'll just get one of each color. Remember, beautiful bright colors.
Yes.
The red pepper, the orange pepper,
Thanks.
and the yellow. And some people might say, "Hey, what about the green?" Well, we've got so much green, and we want to try to create variety. So
Yes,
I just pick the right stuff. So we'll do that in a little bit.
There we go.
And then the tomatoes, these beautiful, sweet grape tomatoes, which are like amazing. And so the whole goal is to cut everything into small bites so that we can get it into the salad.
So small bites, again,
Everything
it
is
allows
small.
for, like when you do have a fork full of whatever it is that you're gonna eat, that you don't just get one flavor, right? Because that's boring. You don't get you need a variety of a flavor profile. This now, with the ribbons, will you show them how it looks? See, like, look how easy that would be if you picked it up on your fork. It would be super easy, almost like little noodles or something, to eat. So then you have that with we're gonna have cilantro, with a little bit of tomato, with the pepper. It's easy to incorporate all those things together.
Yep. And so one of the things that I learned with being a busy mom is that you've got to learn how to use your cutting effectively and efficiently. So cutting into, easy 4s and quarters really helps speed up the process. And
Which is what you see right there.
Yeah,
Which I should
exactly.
have put my finger, FYI, don't put your finger next to the knife as she's cutting. It's not super smart.
so I'm just banging it out, right?
Yes, and then as far, and actually, does Erin ever do that, or is that?
So for the knife,
skills?
you have to know what your kids can and can't do.
And I'll take that over and you can go on the next one.
Yes. So the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to make our own dressing, which we're going to,
Erin wants to, if you didn't hear it, Erin wants to, can I make the dressing?
well, it's a little complicated. How about you pour and then I will tell you what to pour. Okay, how about that? Sounds fair? Okay, so we have, for our dressing, we're going to have some apple cider vinegar. We have some liquid amino, and we're going to need olive oil.
Yep.
And this one is the one that
Right.
Kristen is going to help us with.
So, the recipe calls for maple syrup. If you're on the 5-in-1, it may be too much sugar for you, depending upon what you need for the day. So I have been using Swerve as a sugar, as an all things sugar thing, and you would use probably an 1/8 teaspoon or maybe 1/4 in order to substitute. But for this one, we'll just go ahead and make with what she's got here.
Yeah.
But again, Swerve would be the substitute for this if you're on the 5-in-1.
And so one of the reasons why you're using the maple is it kind of smooths out the raw tahini that goes in it. But I think that you can totally make this dressing without the tahini and it'll still come out really, really great. You can always play around with the flavors and see what works for you, but the flavors that when you combine them are amazing. So take out some of the things that you can do without and it'll still work.
That's great.
Yeah.
And tahini, again, that's one of the ones that's a little bit calorically dense, a little bit high in the carbs, but depending upon what you're wanting to do, that can be great. So if you are doing 5-in-1, keto, I keep mentioning all these things. You guys know what the deal is and what to do. You could either reduce the portion size to where it's probably just enough to give that nutty flavor, or when I say that, probably like half a teaspoon or something. When it's incorporated with everything, it kind of stretches out over the long haul, or just skip it. I love it. She just displayed it. She's like, here we go. Oh, here. This is probably. Are you looking for that?
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. We need a little bit of.
That I can put.
And how many tomatoes do you think?
So I think that's actually good. That's perfect. And then so what we're gonna do, the peppers again, bite sizes. So when we cut them, we're gonna do little ribbons. So what I like to do is just cut it in half, clean it out, gut it out, and then cut them into fours in those little dents that they have there. And then just do little ribbons.
Okay.
And then after that, we're just gonna cut up that. And while we're doing this, we gotta go ahead and toast up these sunflower seeds. And
all right, look at all the different food components. This would be so much fun with your family. And honestly, you literally normally do this in like 15 minutes, right?
15 minutes. So while I'm cooking everything, I'm just like, I got it going.
So the reason it's taking longer is because we're saying all the words, right? So don't be intimidated by the, hold on, somebody said hi. Courtney. Hi, Courtney. So with the sunflower seed, again, it is a great condiment or a healthy fat. So just look for the portion sizes. It'll add a nuttiness to it, but you just want to be, any seed or any nut are awesome, but they're definitely energy dense. So you just want to pay attention to the portion sizes for that.
Yeah, and you're going to ask Kristen, she'll show you how.
Oh, sorry. So you have to plug it in. All right, plugging it in, and then we'll do a low heat. So click low, and then click start. There you go. Let it toast.
So I know that Kristen probably works with portions, so I wanted to make sure I gave you guys the portions for the dressing that we're going to make. So for the sauce, what we're going to need is a half a cup of olive oil. So Erlon, if you want to just pull that out, half a cup. And then we're going to put it, this is the blender that you're wanting to use, right?
Yes.
So you'll just pour a half a cup, but then you're going to put the half a cup on the side because we're going to pour it when we're ready to blend, okay?
Half a cup of this.
Yes. So you'll just put it to the side.
So the reason I love that she's talking about liquid aminos too is because we've talked about how amino acids are necessary for repairing your muscles. This is a great substitute for things like soy sauce. Soy sauce just really doesn't have a lot of nutritional benefits to it. It just really doesn't. And because liquid aminos will kind of substitute for that, right? Yeah, that or coconut aminos, either one of those would work.
Just like perfect. Okay. So with this sauce, one thing that I'll mention to you is that you want to slowly put your oil in. So what you want to do is you want to put all of the other ingredients first. So the amino acid, the tahini, the apple cider, and then what you want to do is you want to drizzle the olive oil so that it'll mix in, because what happens is, you know how you make mayonnaise?
Yeah.
If you blend it too fast, you're going to essentially get mayonnaise. So
if it breaks down too fast.
Yeah, exactly. So you want to do it slow. So you want to put in all your ingredients and you want to put the olive oil, drizzle it in little by little, and keep it slow.
So you massage the fish.
Yes.
And you drizzle it in slow.
Yes, you drizzle it in slow.
Everything
exactly.
she does is sexy. Everything she does.
Everything's slow and sexy. Take your time.
And then this.
Right. So then we just bite sizes, cut it in half, and it's perfect. That's it.
So.
And then you'll put that in there.
Go show them really quickly what that looks like. Awesome. Thank you.
So we'll do 2 tablespoons of cider vinegar.
Ooh, this. You know what's interesting? The toastiness of the sesame, it's like the fragrance of it is starting to open up, and they're starting to probably emit an oil, right? So great. Yes, ma'am. Put them in there.
Hey,
All right.
you said I'm supposed to do that.
The oil. You're gonna drizzle that into one.
I'll do some more stuff.
Oh, okay, no problem. All right, so how about you do this, okay? We're going to do 2 tablespoons of this. So you hold that and I'll pour it.
So while they're doing that, so 2 tablespoons of the liquid aminos.
Yeah.
Again, they're pouring it slowly. If you need to cut a pepper, if you haven't before, these look intimidating. You cut the top off, and then you cut the bottom off, right? So now it's just got this little bit inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the insides here. I call it, it's called the flesh, to make it a little bit easier. So I'm going to open this puppy up,
of the
and I'm going to run my knife along the bottom part right here. There we go. All right, and set that other stuff to the side,
Okay,
and then lay this flesh side down, because the tougher part to cut is the outside, not the inside. So if you lay this down, you can be sure that you actually get it cut.
All right, and then.
All right. So what have you guys done so far?
So we've just put in 2 tablespoons of the apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons of the amino acid, and 2 tablespoons of the maple, which the swerve as a substitute.
Perfect. So if you were going to do this, you would just do like an 1/8 or 1/4 teaspoon of swerve. And as far as the olive oil is concerned, you probably would cut that down to just a few tablespoons until you feel like the consistency might be a little bit thicker. You could thin it out maybe with a bit more aminos versus the olive oil. That's another option. It might alter the flavor a little bit, but you know, at the end of the day, it's going to be delicious. So you know, you're still achieving your health goals. You're learning how to use new ingredients. They are not only feeding your body regarding calorically, but they're giving you the building blocks to help actually heal your gut. They're giving you the building blocks to actually help your brain function well with the fats that she's got on here. They're giving you the building blocks of how to do this. Yes, display. The building blocks of how to repair your gut, your muscles, and other things. So there we go.
All right, so we're gonna give the sunflower seeds a little flip, make sure that they get toasted. Now, this last ingredient is optional. Ginger has been known to be a great digestive, and you can add it. What I suggest that you do is try your dressing first, see if you like it, because you're changing out a couple of different ingredients. So just to make sure that it's what you like or are willing to eat, I would say make your dressing first. You can always add the ginger after if you like.
Red pepper.
So now that we have everything, we are going to slowly blend all of our ingredients, and we're going to slowly drizzle the olive oil in there so we can make our dressing for the salad.
This is super exciting. So we now, Erlon, have, and you eat pepper, you eat all these things. You eat lettuce and peppers.
She does it every day.
How, did you hear that? She does that every day. Okay, have you ever not eaten that way?
Once in a while, we
You used to. Okay.
eat a different, like every almost Friday we would go to Chick-fil-A and we would eat there.
And in Chick-fil-A, you know, that's totally normal. Okay, so what changed? How long ago did you guys change?
When we moved here, we didn't cook as much because Mommy and Daddy were really busy.
Mommy and Daddy are.
So they would take us to Chick-fil-A on Fridays so we could eat the chicken instead of Mommy having to cook because she would have to work.
Okay, so recently though, like here you go. Pour those in there. So you guys though now you don't, right? Like you don't really.
No, we haven't gone to Chick-fil-A in a long time now.
And you know, nothing against Chick-fil-A, but you know.
No,
Could
nothing
you-
against it, but listen,
but
there's
stop it.
busy moms sometimes.
Stop it, yeah.
You gotta feed your kids,
Yeah.
so you know we do what we have to, but you gotta find some different healthy options for them.
I love that, right? Like no shame, right? Like she gets it. Like when I say that they work all the time, I mean like they work a lot, and but they spend time with their family, and they've had to prioritize not only the time with the family, but learning how to do these things really fast and becoming familiar so that their family is healthy, and so that they're offering them not only that but life, right? Like I say that, like you're so cute. All right, so with these scallions, what would you like me to do with those?
Okay, so we're gonna cut up the scallions into
Little bite-sized
circles.
Same thing?
Yep. So probably not that much, but
Okay.
maybe like.
I like a lot of onion.
So, and we'll start off from the bottom. Just cut these off, and then little pieces. Everything bite-sized.
Everything bite-sized. All right. So, by the way, if you don't know, you can eat both sides of the scallion. That's pretty great, right? So we're just gonna make this really tiny little circles. Again, so that when they incorporate into the salad, you're getting full bites of them, of everything. Is this one of your favorite salads?
Well, Mommy doesn't make salad all the time, but there was sometimes in South Florida she hasn't had that much time to make it anymore. Where she would sneak some salad right next to our fish and you would eat it.
She would sneak some salad next to the fish. I love it. Moms and dads, are you listening? You can sneak it in next to it.
And if you have them help you prepare it, they might be more curious to taste it.
Ooh, I remember you saying that. This was a big deal.
Yeah.
Can you explain that a little bit? Like,
yeah, so I have a hard time getting my kids to eat certain things. And also as parents, it's hard because you feel like you have to cook 2 meals all the time. But if you have your children participate in the preparation of the meal, then they're more excited to try or taste what they've just created because they just made it. So like they're like, I want to taste it, I want to taste it, I want to taste it. And if they try it enough times, they'll discover that they might just like it. For example, my son eats Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts.
How old is he?
Yeah, those are
He's
so
9.
good.
Socrates
Socrates-
loves Brussels sprouts.
By the way,
so good.
Socrates said, I can't wait for dinner tonight.
Yeah.
Super
I'll
excited.
bring him his Branzino. And he loves broccoli. Erlon loves broccoli.
Broccoli is delicious with cheese on it.
Yeah, you sprinkle a little cheese, it makes everything better. So that's just a tip for parents that are struggling getting your kids to try stuff. Have them help you make it. We have something called burrito tito night.
Yes.
That is the best way to sneak in some vegetables. I put in corn,
And
tomatoes,
rice,
and beans,
and
like black
fish.
beans, and fish, and they love it.
So
They love it. They call it burrito tito night.
Burrito tito. So if you were doing, if I wanted to try to translate that into that speak, you could do, you saw the lettuce right here, right? These things can actually become burritos or butter lettuce. They can actually roll if you do more than one. If you lay them side by side, they will actually roll into a burrito. So you can do that.
Okay, so whenever my parents would cook and I wanted to taste, my mom wanted to see if we had salt, you always pour it on your hand, and then you just
Click it. Yes.
and see
Okay,
if it has the
excited.
flavor that you want.
It's really good, right? Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. My mouth's never done this before. It's almost peanut buttery.
Mm-hmm.
It's tangy peanut buttery and olive oily and oh my gosh, that's really good.
And if it's too tangy for you, what you can do to smooth it out is add more olive oil. But the suggestion
But I would just say deal with it. That would be my thing. Like,
Just deal with it.
Deal with it. And enjoy the
Yeah.
play that you have with these ingredients. These ingredients, what's great about it is you don't have to use the same proportions. She's giving a base recipe of really good things that are really good for your body. You just, depending upon what you're doing, just pay attention to the portion sizes, but the ingredients themselves are like life, you guys. They are life for your body.
Oh, yes.
So, all right, are we ready to toss the
Yes.
salad?
So what you want to do? So we need some cilantro.
Okay.
We just mince it up.
Sure.
And then that's actually it as far as what. Oh,
Any of
I
these
forgot.
guys?
Yep.
Okay.
So these are just basically like the toppings. The salad is pretty much done. You have all your colors. You've got the orange, you've got the red, you've got the tomatoes, you've got everything that you need for this salad. Everything else is an add-on. So if there's anything that you don't like after this point, don't need it to make the salad complete. Your salad is done.
She's like ready to help. Like, it's incredible.
The cilantro smells amazing.
Yeah.
And put as much or as little as you want.
cilantro, just a little
The only
bit.
other thing that we have is this.
Cucumber?
Yes.
Yep.
Alright.
So we just chop it up. And to make sure that it's bite-sized, 1, 2, 3.
So
And
basically,
then
she took the cucumber and split it in half, and then she's doing 3 slices vertically, and then just doing little chops to make sure that, like, if you dig with your fork, you get into it, but it's not overwhelming. It's not like you're
big chunks.
like, you want to be able to be on a date and not be me and miss out on relationship because it's falling out of your face. Like, that's the thing. Did I tell you? I went on a first date at a barbecue place one time, and I ordered the ribs. I mean, honestly. And then I went on another date. I had a salad. I went back to my car. I saw it was still on my teeth.
Oh no.
Neither one of those guys called me back.
Okay,
That's okay.
so just to mention, we did stop the fish at 10 minutes.
Okay.
And what I did is I took it off of bake and I put it on broil. You can put it on broil high if you want, depending on where you have your pan. If it's down low, high is fine. Just keep an eye on it. You've got 5 minutes tops, so you've got to watch it.
And I'm gonna pull the camera out, and I want to show them what's happening because
you can actually
hear
and sizzling going on.
Here.
A whole lot of popping and sizzling going on.
Oh my gosh, you guys!
You see the popping and the sizzling?
This is ridiculous.
So it's pretty much ready. We're gonna take it out.
So
we got
good.
Skin. Crispy.
All right. Hold on. All right. So salad is ready. We're just doing the last parts of the toppings, right?
Yep.
Actually, I just did that a little bit.
And I'm just gonna pull the fish out and put it on the stove.
All right. Guys, it smells so divine. Oh my gosh. Right, Airline?
Yep.
Airline, how old are you?
I am 11 now.
You're 11 now. Did you just have a birthday?
Yeah, my birthday was December 5th, so 2 weeks ago
You just became 11,
yes,
which is so exciting.
I had a sleepover for my birthday.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so fun. Do your friends eat healthy like this?
I know one of them does.
Okay. What is it like when you have sleepovers at friends' houses when they don't eat stuff that you eat?
Well, for my sleepover, because they came over later, we had a bunch of junk food. So we had popcorn, we had chips and pizza.
You don't fight it. That's basically what happened. Don't fight it. Okay.
You gotta let them have some fun.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, right? A lot of people want to know how do I encourage my family to be healthy? Sorry, the lighting is so weird. Sorry, guys. Ooh. Well, hi. All right, let's see. There we go.
Is that seaweed?
Yes, it's seaweed.
I love seaweed. It tastes so good.
You said you love seaweed?
Yeah.
Oh,
See, get your kids to try stuff when they're making the salad. They'll try weird stuff and be like, what? Your kids like weird stuff.
We went to a restaurant and there was seaweed on the side of my meal and I ate it and it was so good.
Oh my gosh. Seaweed's so interesting too. It's really light, right? Flaky?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so now we have our sauce. Don't touch it.
It's wonderful.
We have our sauce, we have our salad. What you want to do is you want to toss your salad, and then these are just toppings that you can add, okay? So you have finely ground flaxseed, which is really great.
And I'll toss it while you're talking.
And then we have hemp seeds, halved hemp seeds, which are really, really great.
Flaxseed.
What is the nutritional, do you know the nutritional benefit of a hemp seed?
So hemp seed I know it's a great superfood. And here I'll just show you guys the hemp seeds.
Really sweet.
And it's got a lot of protein. I would say it's kind of nutty.
Nutty. Okay, so that goes with the dressing.
Yeah, Erlon has a peanut allergy, so there's certain things that I cannot put in foods. Yeah, and green beans. She's informed me green beans. And so this is the only way that I can have sort of like that nutty flavor, like if you like almonds, a little crunch in your salad. So if you do have peanut allergies or you have people in your household that do, hemp seeds are a great substitute for that. And it's protein packed, for sure. So we can basically put that in the salad.
Yes, and I'm getting a bigger bowl because this is
So sweet.
And we've toasted some sunflower seeds, which, it smells so divine.
There we go.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
better. Bigger bowl.
There we go. And what I'm doing is I'm just basically getting all of our toppings ready so that when we're ready to sit down and eat, we've got everything incorporated. We also have some feta cheese, which I don't know.
That's great. Yeah.
So feta cheese is really great to add to it, and it just gives it a nice little punch of flavor.
That'll be it's got a little tanginess to it, right? Feta cheese, if you haven't had it before.
Feta cheese.
If you're used to cheddar, it's not cheddar. But it has a really lovely tanginess to it, and a little bit of tangy and creamy combined, right?
Yes.
Those two things.
And
so what does the seaweed bring to it?
so the seaweed has almost like this salty flavor.
Yeah.
So if you instead of adding salt, you could add
You
seaweed,
just-
right? So you're
it's
getting the
really
same
nice.
sensation without actually having to add those things that may not be advantageous for your system.
Okay.
So with seaweed's not really going to cause blood inflammation, right? Let's just see what we got here sodium-wise. Yeah, 65 milligrams of sodium. The serving size is the entire half a pack. So it's a great alternative to adding more salt. And it adds, I mean, who doesn't want to say it? I'm eating seaweed. That's pretty great, actually.
And you just crumple it up, and then you just sprinkle it over your salad when you're ready.
Okay.
And that's it. So
Yeah,
the best way to, now you want to take a picture of that?
Yes,
Fish
that fish
is
looks
done.
ridiculous. So let me just show you
Yes, you can.
this gorgeous, gorgeous fish.
This is seaweed. It's really good.
Ooh, hot. Here, let me clear out a section for you.
Okay.
Let's move over here, Airline. So I'm just gonna put it down.
So look at those. I feel like the lighting is off. Let's see if I can. I know what I'll do. Okay. I'm gonna protect her little hands. Okay. Here. Let's look at this.
It's
How
so good.
glorious those little guys
Those
look.
look so good.
Right?
And if you can hear even like the crackle when we, oh my goodness. You can
All right.
You see the crunch there? Look at that.
Oh. It actually, like, it's bubbled. It's bubbled up, and it's crunchy and it's flaky. It looks delicious. It looks absolutely incredible.
Oh, that crunch. Wait till you take that first bite.
I can't wait to
So,
eat this.
do we just toss these in here with them?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
All right. So you want a portion size probably first.
Yep. And then that's where you go ahead and mix in all of your.
Way to go, Airline.
Now, again, if you're looking to add some healthy fats and you want to maybe not do the olive oil, you can do avocado. Add avocado to that.
Oh yeah.
This is really great. I've made it with avocado.
That's great. That's a great alternative to the olive oil too.
And
Actually, and to the dressing kind of alone, like avocado with lemon is a good little dressing in and of itself, right?
If you wanted to substitute that and do that as your dressing instead of the fat,
Yeah.
I've made that dressing.
That's good.
And I can give you another dressing that's amazing that you don't need to add any of that stuff, and it's super simple. All herbs.
And let's also keep in mind, like as far as portion sizes, this salad probably would serve 8.
Yes.
Like it's a big salad. Like so, if you were doing portion sizes, you might actually just have a couple tablespoons of each of those ingredients.
Absolutely.
Or do it and then maybe save it. Does it
Yes,
save?
this you can actually put this in a glass jar and it can sit on your countertop for like a week or 2. Yeah. So all you have to do is just shake it up. And then,
super easy.
yeah, and you don't need a lot. You could literally just use 2 tablespoons in your, or even 1, and it works perfectly.
Okay, so I'm gonna do a little bit of a rundown one more time of what we've done and why that's good, and then and then I think we'll be done. We're ready to plate it, right?
Yes,
so let me just get these plates. So we only need one actually.
Yes,
One.
and I can do it for you.
Okay, so a couple of things. With the reason that I was excited about fish is because it is a wonderful source of omega-3 fats. Omega-3 fats are really big, a really helpful thing. Your body needs healthy fat in order for to be a conduit of the nutrients into your system. It is super important that you get a good healthy fat though, because the good healthy fats will break down naturally in your system, whereas trans fats and other things that you ingest that are they form solids like vegetable oil, canola oil, things that you get on the inner aisle. They actually harden in your system because they're already broken down. Their hydrogen molecules are already broken down in a weird way before you get to them. So consuming fish is a great way. It's a lean, healthy protein that spikes your protein, helps build your muscles, it helps burn fat, and then it also provides a really good healthy fat, leaving the skin on. Another good source of those good healthy omegas.
Super tasty.
And then we have the vegetables, so high in fiber, right? So you have peppers, you have the hemp seeds, you have the tahini probably has. I don't know if it has a lot of fiber, but like you've got the seeds, the lettuce. So you're turning off the hunger hormone ghrelin, which is the one that was released when your stomach reduces down in size. So you're getting good healthy fish, which is nice and big, not energy dense, and then you have the salad, which again you're gonna feel so full, satiated. These things smell amazing. It feels like a restaurant in here. Like no joke, this feels like a ridiculous restaurant. It's so pretty and so beautiful. It's so delicious. Look at that.
And
I'm so
I
excited.
literally drizzled like probably half a tablespoon of this. You don't need a lot.
Yeah.
And
like legit then what she did with all of the tahini and everything would be compliant, because with any of the things that you're doing, because it's not going to spike anything. Just be careful of the portion.
yes.
All right, so she's going to grab onto the tail.
And I'm gonna
Gorgeous.
put it right here for you.
Gorgeous.
And then,
Oh, feta.
ta-da! Yep, you can put the feta, sprinkle it on.
Okay.
You don't need a whole lot.
Do you want to sprinkle it on, Erin?
Yeah.
Okay. I like that you stepped up, break it up right in. Go for it, girl.
Just break it up. Don't need a lot. There you go. That's good. And then just break it up. Break it. Squeeze it. Break it up.
That's the other thing too. Think about restaurants. Like, pay attention next time to at how much they're actually putting on your plate, because it is so much less than what we perceive it to be when it's in a container. So that was like a quarter of a teaspoon of feta cheese. Like, it's not a lot.
Yep.
So like,
And it looks beautiful.
it looks beautiful. It's just enough to add that extra little bit of flavor. You could add more if you wanted to, but who's saying hi? Hold on. Let's see. Oh, there's people that you know that are saying hi to Socrates. He's going back and forth. He's running behind the scenes. Okay.
And you know, one thing that you mentioned about the restaurants, here's my like favorite thing to do. Like, I have a great palate, so I'll taste something and I say, hey, you know, do you mind asking the chef how he prepared it or what he put it in? I can't tell you how many dishes, my favorite dishes in restaurants, I go back home and I recreate. That's like, Socrates is like,
so
he
smart.
says to me all the time, he's like, babe, can you recreate this? And I'm like,
That is so smart.
I will try.
So smart.
I'll take on the challenge.
Okay, so
dig in.
do you guys? Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited! It's my first time trying it. So I can do all of.
Oh yes, eat the skin.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm legit like so ridiculously excited.
You probably want to try in the middle because it doesn't have any bones, so you can just like have a nice bite and not be
Right in the
afraid that you're
center?
gonna. Yes,
Okay.
right there, that piece, you're not gonna have any problems.
I did get a bone. Doesn't matter though. I don't care. That is so stupid flavorful.
You're gonna love the flavors.
I mean, it is bursting with garlic and onion and that little bit of cilantro. Like, it's still on my tongue right now, and it was literally the tiniest little bite. Oh my gosh.
It's good stuff. It's
Oh
good.
my gosh. I'm so excited to try the salad now too.
Yes. The salad is super flavorful, and with the dressing.
You guys, that would be, I promise you, if you ate this, it would be, no matter who you are, like this, it would be so filling. It's flavors that you're familiar with. It doesn't have like a fishy taste to it either.
Yeah.
Good grief, right? Mmm. Mmm. Okay.
And it's crunchy.
What I love what just happened. 3 different bites. I got 3 different experiences, right? So initially, the dressing was forward, so I got a little tiny bit of nuttiness and that acid, and then I got crunched and got a pepper, so a fresh bite, and then I crunched into probably a sunflower seed, and got a different nuttiness underneath that with a little bit of the cheese. So every single bite is delicious and awesome. Oh my gosh, you guys! Oh, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for you. Like, it's so interesting too because she said something really interesting. Because obviously you said something really interesting. You are obviously really good at this, and you have done it for a long time, right? But it is not. It's not your final jam right now.
No, it's not how I'm gonna make my living.
Right. It's not how you're gonna make your living.
No.
The girl here, she's trying to figure it out. Right? Like, she's trying to figure it out. I'm trying to make the passion and all the things, but I'm paying attention to what she's saying too, and considering, like, just thinking through what you're saying, right? So, find your hedgehog and stop working. Is how can people get a hold of that?
So you can find us on Amazon, and I know I sent you the link, so you can share it.
Oh yeah, I'll share the link in just a second.
But you can go to Amazon and look it up. Find your hedgehog and stop working. It's when work stops being work because you're doing what you're passionate about. I think, like I said, with your audience, it's evident. You know, you can see Kristen is like, this is her. She's in her element. This is you can see it in everything that you do, and even when you go places. And you know, that server oh my gosh, that was just amazing service. It shows through in everything that person does. That's how you'll know that person is in their wheelhouse. They're doing what they love. And you know, I encourage everyone to do that. Pick up the book and learn how you can do it. And you know, you can also find us on Facebook. Go to Critical Path, and you'll find us. We're posting. We're doing all kinds of things. We'd love to invite you, and we're helping people. You like it too?
It's really
so
good. This is priceless. For all the moms out there, this is my favorite thing when I cook a meal and I put it in front of my kids and they're like, Mom, this is so good. It's my favorite.
It makes sense why it's so good, you guys. It is like so stupid good. It's so good. All right. If you have any questions, just Facebook message me. If you don't already follow me on social media, I totally forgot to mention all the social media at first. Irreverent Health for right now is where you can find me. So Irreverent Health on Instagram. Irreverent Health, you can follow the page. I really don't put anything on there just yet, but on the Instagram page I do. Also, Irreverent Health, the YouTube channel. There are about 50 plus recipes on there right now that should be mostly 501 compliant, and also for the rest of the things, the keto, the paleo, the Whole30, the whole thing. It's all there. But this one will be uploaded probably tomorrow. So if you wanted to watch it with your family and do this with your kids, I can't even tell it. Like, I mean it. Like, go to Whole Foods, become friends with the fish person,
or the meat person,
or the meat person, whomever.
Get to
ask
know
questions. They know stuff.
They do.
I didn't know they knew stuff. I thought they were just handing my fish. Yeah.
My kid is eating salad.
Yeah, she's eating salad. It's so exciting, you guys. This is such a win. Oh, it's so flavorful. Okay. All right. Hope you have a great night. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, Basil. Basil's on. Hi, Basil. All right.